So in today's video, we're gonna be talking about this. As you may know, this is my 2018 Mustang Ecoboost. And as you guys all know, I've done a couple things to it, but mostly what I want to talk about today is lowering it. So as of right now, we are on the Steeda progressive lowering springs. It does give the car a beautiful stance, and I must honestly say it makes the car look amazing. Now, one of the things about the Steeda progressive lowering springs is that it makes the car look a little bit more aggressive. It brings the car down 1 inch in the front, I believe, and 1.1 in the back. So gives it an incredible stance. And not only does it give it an incredible stance, but it also makes it very more comfortable to drive, where when you take turns, it's a little bit more comfortable. So when it comes to lowering your EcoBoost or even a 5.0, there's many different ways to do things. There's a lot of competition out there. My personal opinion, and this is only my personal opinion, is that the Steeda progressive springs are the way to go. Now, obviously, the progressive springs are, more of a lowering than more performance. But let me tell you, it does handle a lot better than it did from factory. And it took out that very ugly truck-looking stance. So now with the car lowered, 1 inch in the front and 1.1 in the back, it gives the car just a little bit more character. And with the Mustang Performance Pack rims, it just gives the car a whole different look. Now, there are some, I looked at a couple of them. I was just such a fan of the Steeda progressives that I went with them, and they have them for, if you have a 5.0, if you have an EcoBoost, if you have a V6, you can pretty much get all of them, and it will make your car look great. Now, obviously today isn't a beautiful day here in Miami, but car still looks, pretty nice. Now, other things that I wanted to show is there's a lot of people that say, well, do you need to put spacers on it to make it look better? Do you have to change out the lug nuts, or so on and so forth? To be honest with you, I had spacers on it, and the only reason I don't have spacers now is because the spacers broke. When we were putting on the lowering springs, as soon as we went to take off the tire, spacer broke. So I couldn't have one tire without a spacer and all the other ones with spacers. So I said, you know what, take them all off. And I'm kind of liking the way that the car looks without the spacers. So with that being said, this is what the car looks like now, and we're just taking it one step at a time. And I'll be honest, I think it looks great. It gives it a different stance, a different look. And for most of you guys looking for the aggressive lowering stance, it looks completely different. So take your pick how you like it. I know other people have some other options, but I think the Steeda progressives are great, and I'm a fan of it. On the front, same thing. In mine, it did adjust the ride height in the front a little bit, and obviously I have smaller tires in the front, so you can't really tell too much about the lowering, but it is lowered 1 inch in the front. These are 245s in the front instead of the 255s, So the 255s would have filled up the wheel well a little bit more, but overall, it does drive great. And now, while most of you guys will say, well, what's the clearance look like? Well, there it is. You know, it's only an inch, so it doesn't really make a big deal. I really haven't had any problems with clearance since I lowered the car, and it pretty much looks the same way. And you know, no issues with speed bumps, no issues with going over things, and you know, it looks pretty decent back here. You know, nothing out of the ordinary, and it's just overall makes the car look absolutely different. So there you have it. Now, a lot of you people can think, you know, well, you know, I don't like the Steeda springs. I want to go with another brand, or I want to go with, you know, a complete kit. Maybe you want to go with, you know, bags or something like that. I mean, you can do whatever you want. Obviously, bagging an S550 makes the car look great, but I think you take away a little bit of the ride quality when you do that. But you know, it's always nice to get somewhere and you can air out the car. But I mean, I think the Steeda progressive springs are great. So if you like the content of this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, go there, subscribe, hit that bell so you can get the notifications, and I'll catch you on the next one. Mike, Boost and Stang, out.